Does that fight play out?
It'll be a great fight. You know, Mikey Garcia is a great fighter. He's very tough. He's a world champion, and he's one of the bravest fighters of this era right now because he's stepping in against welterweight, physically strong world champion who's ERROL Spence, and I think it's a great fight. You know, Mikey Garcia and Omar Figueroa will be a great fight.
What's your prediction on that fight? Because he is going up in weight, and ERROL Spence is not just a regular champion. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Well, that's the thing. And right now, like I said, Mikey Garcia is a very brave fighter, one of the bravest of this era right now because he's stepping in the challenge. Now, a lot of fighters, I think there's 90% of the welterweights right now that are avoiding ERROL Spence, and Mikey's not. Mikey says, you know what, I'll step to the plate. And a lot of credit to Mikey for that. But I just think that it's a win-win situation for Mikey. If Mikey plays it smart and beats ERROL Spence, I mean, hey, he becomes a super champion, you know, Hall of Famer, something that a lot of fighters have not done. But even if he loses, he still wins because he took the challenge, stepped into the challenge. He's a smaller fighter. I honestly think that Mikey Garcia is, for me, the best 135-pounder, and at 140 pounds as well. But 47, I think he's pushing it.
I mean, this fight between Mikey Garcia and ERROL Spence, it's a fight that Omar can face the winner, or you know, he can face, like you said, Mikey Garcia at 140, or he can face ERROL Spence at 147. They fought in the amateurs. Omar beat him. You know, how do you see that fight between Omar Figueroa and ERROL Spence?
ERROL Spence and Omar Figueroa will be a tough task for everybody. I mean, for me putting a plan together, and for Omar. Even though he beat him in the amateurs, it's been a long time. ERROL Spence has evolved a lot, and he has done great in his professional career. He matured a lot. He's a physically strong fighter. And Omar said it when I asked him, hey, what do you think about ERROL Spence? He told me, Coach, that guy is really strong. Believe me, even when we fought in the amateurs, he's a solid fighter. Solid. It's not easy. I mean, and up to now, a lot of people say, oh, well, he hasn't fought anybody. I mean, don't say he hasn't fought anybody, because Kell Brook was no easy fight. Kell Brook was no easy fighter at the time, and he beat him, and he demolished him. And he is where he is because he paid his dues, and he did his work.
Do you, I mean, 147 is stacked. Would you be able to tell me who you think the main guy at 147 is right now?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, that's hands down Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is the best in every angle in that welterweight division.
I know there's politics and sometimes fights can't really be done because of promotional companies. But if you know, Terence Crawford unify the 140, if politics wasn't an issue, you think he'd be able to unify 147 if it was possible to get all the fights?
Definitely. Anything's possible, you know, as long as the promoters can put the fights together. I think that right now in the welterweight division, the mega fight in the welterweight division right now will be ERROL Spence and Terence Crawford. And I think Terence Crawford would win a decision. He will not knock out ERROL Spence. But I think due to the ability of fighting, because Terence Crawford is a great fighter all around. He can fight lefty, he can fight righty, and he's a very smart technical fighter. Sometimes fighters prepare to fight against a right-hander in the ring, and he switches on him. You know, Posto did that. Posto prepared himself to fight a right-hander, and that night, Terence Crawford comes in as a left-hander. And that's the benefit that Terence Crawford has. He was in camp with me for 2 times or 3 times when Bradley was getting ready for Pacquiao. And honestly, I never thought he was a right-hander fighter because he was always coming in and helping me southpaw. And he's a great, technical, smart fighter. He has all the ability that a fighter can have in the ring.
I love talking to you and talking about these possible fights. Wishful thinking. Just one last question. I know we got to get going. The fight that it's not wishful thinking, that it's actually happening on May 4th, Canelo and Daniel Jacobs. Who wins and why?
I think this is the right time for Canelo to beat Jacobs. Just going back and watching Jacobs, he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. He's still in the business. I think he's already at the point where Canelo can beat him, and not only beat him, but can stop him or knock him out. I mean, his last fight in New York, I was there, and I saw him fight a Ukrainian or Russian fighter. And I was watching that fight, and I was putting Canelo in that position, and I see Canelo doing more damage. Canelo he's stronger, more compact, smarter. He attacks to the body more. And I just see this fight being a great fight in the first 6 rounds, but Canelo breaking Jacobs down with a lot of body work and possibly stopping him or knocking him out in the 8th, 9th, maybe 10th round.
Well, we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, Coach, for talking to us. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much, and good luck on fight night this Saturday. Thank you so much.